Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Stellaris. Man, it's weird to say that after saying welcome back to Spore after all this time, isn't it? Today, we're going to continue right where we left off in the last episode. We had colonized a couple new planets. We have found signs of a ancient civilization that has existed in our neck of the woods for apparently a long time, or at least used to. And we have been making contact with various spaceborne entities that we are very slowly working on because we only have one guy whose job it is to make contact with all of the aliens in existence, which possibly is going to hamper our efforts when we finally start contacting lots of aliens all at once. But until then, we will continue to just sort of go as is. And right now, we're just trying to section off a piece of space that we can have for ourselves. And let us resume.
System survey complete.
And already we have finished a system survey. Very good. Once we get the influence, we can
Blockers cleared.
finish that up. And we can grab that, and that, I think, is going to be our main defensive choke point over in this direction. Because while we don't have to follow these hyperlanes, they do. So they can only come in through here. We will be very sure to fortify the border
complete.
as it stands. And how much more influence do we need? We need like 15 more influence. That's not too bad. Move here. And we are very slowly going to continue with our work. We are slowly developing hyperdrive technologies, so hopefully our ships will improve a bit more. It will constrain us to the hyperlane network, but it means our ships will be able to function a bit more autonomously without me having to manually direct them everywhere. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, we need like 4 more. Oh, hang on. We need precisely 52, so we have 51. We need 1 more. Alright. Alright. And then once we claim this space, remember we're trying to claim space in return for our,
Blockers cleared.
what's it called? Our 40-year plan to get as much space as we can. Currently, for Unifying Promise, our luminary trait will improve for 50 once for every 15 points we make. So we have almost enough for 2 upgrades to our luminary trait, depending on how quickly we can get this all kind of wrapped up. We have 40 years, which honestly is quite a long time, considering it's only been about 10 years in-game out of the roughly 300 that this game will go on for. So, this series may go on for a while, or I may start making the... God. This is about the void worms, isn't it? Yep, presence in the Halak system, rudimentary signals. Alright, so it is
Construction complete.
Oh, we found a new archaeological dig site. Any other rock. Surface is devoid of all life, however, there are indications of a previously thriving biosphere, some interesting tectonic activity, which may warrant a closer look. Okay, so that's very vague. So, who knows? What's that? Rhizor 2, that is a Savannah world. Interesting. We're not going to bother with that, though, because we don't like Savannah worlds. We're going to upgrade this station, so that way it is a bit better at defending us. Because the worms came from over here, and I don't want to deal with the worms. Or actually, possibly the worms came from here. I'm not sure. Either way, we need to work on getting a way of dealing with those. Let's get a archaeological research speed. We haven't actually done any archaeological dig sites yet, but it'd be good to have a leader who is good at dealing with those when we finally get around to that. In fact, once I get the last few
System survey complete.
systems like dealt with. In fact, are you the one that's like, yeah, you have you have the anomaly discovery chance increase. Okay. To think of what we're doing next. Out of nowhere. Alright, as we were preparing to land our future as we were preparing land for future expansion on global farms, a large structure seemingly blinked into existence. The structure is emitting highly unstable energy waves, causing it to intermittently appear and disappear from view. This explains why it was not present in initial scans of this sector. When visible, unintelligible symbols adorned its sealed exterior, but match no known language in our records. No apparent function can be discerned. The construct has thus far caused no harm, but it is obstructing our development efforts. Interesting. So, just a random building has decided to appear on our farmland. Oh no. And apparently, Reaper's Folly has detected what can only be described as a dimensional portal in a remote location on the planet. Eventually determined caused by the slight leakage of atmosphere into the portal. Rate of loss far too small for it to make any difference to life on the planet. However, very existence of such a portal raises some disturbing questions, such as where does it lead to?
Situation
Interesting. We're gonna have to look into that later. Yeah, no, that seems like a very important thing. However, it will take us like many years in order to get that done because our research isn't very good right now. Yeah, our research is quite bad. It's not as bad as it was because we did get a research lab actually built on our planet. We didn't start with one, but it is. We do have a bit of an unemployment issue. In fact, I'm going to designate this to be Empire Capital, just so that way... I'm pretty sure that's what it was designated as anyways, but, you know. And I may build a few more districts just to try and get our jobs, like, kind of under control. I'm also going to claim that space. Oh, and we have our first faction. A new faction has recently been gaining traction in the internal political landscape of the Kawkusis Healthy Council. They call themselves the Kawkusis Dominance Movement. Okay. They are, well, hang on if we look. They are a xenophobic and militarist faction, as opposed to the Committee of Spiritual Redemption, which is merely spiritualist. And, okay, they're fairly happy. No, hang on, wrong ones. They like that our species is being ruled by one of our species. They like that we do not have any Federation ties to any other species. They like that their ruler is also racist and or militaristic. However, they don't like that we're not being aggressive at first contact protocols, and they don't like that we aren't... hang on. Apparently the invisible thing on our planet is a thing. Analysis of shimmering building, global farms leads us to assume the object is bending or distorting light. Exceptional geothermal activity has been detected in the silicate mantle below. The point energy source powers the isolated okay, so it's geothermally powered. We don't really know necessarily how it's doing what it's doing or why it's here, or potentially that it may cause problems if we try to force our way in. You know what? We're just gonna, like, keep studying it from afar to see what it does, and get back to me when you have some results. We're gonna move here. And we're gonna... Oh, we have a new tradition. And now we take our first Ascension perk. And basically, whenever we finish one of these, not only do we get an effect from simply finishing our, the tree itself, we also get an Ascension perk. Ascension perks are basically just really big passive bonuses that allow us to do things like eventually say, you know, become cyborgs, or become synthetics, or become psychic, or blow up the galaxy if we really want to. There's a lot here, but usually the first one that we can take is usually nothing too crazy. I think we're going to take technological ascendancy just to boost our research just a little bit more in order to try and make things a bit better for ourselves, because we really are kind of in a delayed position with that. So hopefully we will be able to catch up with our neighbors, assuming we have any. It is entirely possible, actually, that where we spawned, there's just nothing around us. Everybody could be crowded down here. Hey, we've researched hyperdrives. Nice. Let's get research up. We did just a bit. Does that mean that our ships are now... No, these ships are still... jump ships. Okay, that's interesting. I may get rid of our engineering vessels. Actually, you know what? First... Hang on, I'm gonna wait for them to build that starbase outpost, and then I'll get rid of the jump ships, because we kind of want the ships to be a bit better. Actually, you know what? I'm going to disband our science vessels, because we get to keep the scientists, even if we disband the science vessels. I'm going to tell them to build a couple new science ships. And then you are going to build that. You are going to be disbanded. And I'm going to have you build a construction ship. And these are like kind of the ones that you would normally start with, but we don't actually have them. What's this? Oh, void worms. Yeah, easy prey. Let's, basically we get extra damage, and we get 1,000 food every time we kill one of them. Presumably that means we're eating them, which... You saw them last episode. I don't think I'd want to eat that, even if it is the size of a building and you could tell me it tastes like beef jerky. I don't care. What's the other one? Void worm research? Nah. Easy prey. Kill. Destroy them.
In the language of the divine.
Excellent. You're going to be disbanded now. You are going to get reassigned. You are better at that. You are there. Okay, so you're the one who just should be... Ooh. Command chamber? What the hell? Further study of these strange markings on the exterior of the alien structure on global farms revealed them to be an interface of sorts. We're able to manipulate them to open a hidden door into the building's deserted interior, revealing a vast control chamber. Though ignorant of its deeper workings, we gain basic understanding over the commands using trial and error. Interrupting its functions produced an unexpected outcome. The derelict ruins of a long-abandoned alien settlement appeared in a nearby valley. It seems the object was somehow projecting a powerful cloaking field on the former colony. What they were hiding from remains a mystery, but what is certain is that they perished regardless of their efforts. While nothing of archaeological value remains intact, our scientists have made excellent use of the cloak of the control chamber. We are now able to stabilize and expand the building's strange cloaking effect to cover the entire valley. It will be a great enhancement to our colony's safety. Interesting. So we've gotten some basic cloaking fields technology progress, as well as an ancient cloaking array has been added to the planet, giving it minus 50% orbital bombardment damage and plus 5% happiness. Okay, so basically if, like, aliens rock up to this planet and they're about to, like, nuke it from orbit, because it's the only way to be sure, they're less likely to hit the colony because the colony is invisible. Okay, that's nice. I like that. Alright, valuable discovery. May put some, like, military presence on the planet then in order to, like, kind of have it be like a fortress world.
Council agenda
in the
ready.
meantime, we're gonna have our single remaining science vessel kind of go around. Yeah, you see, now that they don't have the jump drives, they have to actually... hang on. Survey system. They actually had to, like, go from system to system in order to do things. Hang on, I'm gonna pause while things are doing its thing. That is somewhat of a downside, but it does, in the end, mean that we get a bit more done. And I'm going to work on getting... Is this the one that has the... Yes, this is the one with Iguana Ruins. I think I'm going to get started on this. Actually, we're going to also research anomalies and excavate the site. Right. Let's work on getting rid of toxic kelp blockers, because that should help with some of our stuff. We can finally expand our council. And we'll get started with the Unifying Promise agenda. Okay, yeah, let's do that. And in the meantime, I think we're going to... we're going to go with that. And we're going to assign our other scientist to be that. There we go. The jump drive perk is a little bit pointless until we, like, invent better ones that we could put on our military ships. Otherwise, you know, not a whole lot we can do. But, as it stands, we can now... Basically, we're getting very close to basically playing the game how we should have been playing it at the start. Because of how the game kind of handicapped us a bit. But we seem to be doing alright for ourselves, you know? 12 years, and we've already captured I would say, a decent amount of space. We haven't run into anyone else yet, which is somewhat relieving and concerning. It might mean that there's nowhere nearby, or it may mean that they're all busy murdering each other, and as soon as they find me, they're going to, well, find us. They're going to, you know, kill us too. Who knows? But we shall begin. We're going to put you on automatic. I'm going to build another thing, another construction vessel. What I set this one to do is basically just to go and automatically build extraction facilities on, like, all of our claimed systems. So you see how, like, there's all these unused resources that we could be collecting. Now we'll be collecting those. In the meantime, we're just gonna start taking... oh, apparently we don't have enough alloys. Interesting. We're just gonna move here then. And once we have enough alloys, we can kind of get things going again. Do we have corvettes yet? Yeah, we do have corvettes, don't we? We go to our fleet management. We're gonna make a fleet. We're gonna add just like the basic corvettes that they automatically generate for us. That'll take us 1,000 alloys to build all the ships, but we will eventually get them, you know, things. Apparently, we have made first contact. The Eta Menace. Alright, it's called Menace, by the way, because we're xenophobic. We just, you know, yeah. Apparently it is, some space jellyfish. I know what these are, but they're harmless. I wouldn't worry too much about them. But we'll do the event just because, you know, we do get some stuff out of it. So, I guess I could find something to do to fill the void. I may just edit a lot of this out until something interesting happens. Oop. Ah, yes, the ghost ship.
Situation
We already kind of figured
updated.
that one out.
Construction complete.
Yeah. We should probably look at our Empire focuses. This is something that was added relatively recently. Basically, it just gives you, like, objectives to hit, and then depending on what you end up doing with them, honestly, I tend to not pay much attention to them. Most of the objectives are just things you would do normally during play, and we are now currently working on researching those planets. And we'll get updates on that as we go. In the meantime, we're just going to slowly fill out this area, because all these little side systems, we're pretty sure there isn't anybody in them that'll stop us from taking them, so we can just kind of swell out into all that space. I don't know why I'm gesturing to the screen like you can actually see what I'm talking about. But yeah, like this little area here, this area here, this little cul-de-sac here, all this, we can take these and we can later do things with them in order to make sure our planet is well adjusted. You know what, I may build an alloy foundry on this planet just to make sure that we have enough things. And we have plenty of amenities on this planet, so I don't think I'll work on that. We have a temple, which would give a small amount of society research as well as a bunch of unity and amenities. That could be useful. Honestly, you know what we need? We need a monument. Because that will cause our civilians, these people here, to produce resources other than what they're currently producing, mostly just amenities. So yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna take that just as a means of having things, and we have a black hole, which doesn't seem to really have anything in it. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so this little area, probably not going to be much going on in it. It sounds like I'm trying to tempt fate. It's because I kind of am, because I know there's a particular event you can get from black hole systems that, if we were to get it during this playthrough, would be fantastic, but I kind of doubt it. It's a very rare event. It is one of the rarest events in the game, having like a less than 1% chance to trigger. So it is
System survey complete.
Very good. What next trait should we take? I think since our species, our empire is so focused. Hang on, let me pause things while we're deciding all these things. Since our empire is so focused on having really one like super leader, I think we should actually take aptitude. I almost never take this, but it does mean that our luminary will be like amazing. Is there anything else that changes leaders? I know discovery tends to like make our leaders slightly better. What about... No, I don't think... Well, statecraft maybe? That's like council agenda speed and... Yeah. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna take aptitude. We're gonna make our leaders better.
Council agenda
there
available.
We go. And apparently we have finished researching administrative AI, which is good. We can take that basic cloaking technology that we got from that one event. Oh man, sorry, hang on, I'm gonna like pause real quick and go go like blow my nose because I could feel like a bunch of stuff in the back of my throat. I'll be right back. Alright, and I have returned. So, we could take the basic cloaking tech. I think, honestly, what we should probably take is basic combat rolls, or blue lasers. I think basic combat rolls would probably be a bit better. Allows you to specialize your ships a bit more, and once we get, better, like, technology for our ship, like, more technology for our ships, more ship types, we'll want to start specializing our fleets, or start having, like, specialized ship designs that be like, okay, we want ships that are able to, like, deflect X, or ships that focus on Y types of damage, in order to try and, like, kind of, defeat our enemies a bit more efficiently. Or we could just, you know, go with, like, a theme sort of thing. Maybe we use all kinetic weapons, or all energy weapons. We'll see how things go. Huh. Seems like our Minister of Exploration, got a level up. Good. And, yeah, alright. I'm pausing. Okay. Oh, and that is an update on the Grunner ruins, the bowel organism. Decoded ancient data crystals have been found at the dig site, chronicling the Grunner's military exploits. While most are local and of little interest, several volumes detail the Grunner's first encounter with an alien species referred to as the Bowel organism. Little more can be gleaned about the Bowel at this point, save that they were a massive plantoid species and had many colonies seated amongst the stars. Alright, so we found plants. Found plant people. Plant people. Look like plants. Taste like people. No. However, we are very slowly going to start getting a bit more... What's it called? We should probably... we don't have enough minerals for actually specializing Reaper's Folly. Because we are starting to run out of consumer goods. Very slowly. Weird heat blobs have been found. Okay. Yeah. We have an idle leader, apparently? Who's idle? Oh, our Minister of Defense. Oh, yeah, because they're, like, on the council, but they don't actually have, like, a fleet or anything to preside over. We'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully by the end of this, or like early next episode, we'll have the alloys. We can just kind of throw together a fleet, because I do not like being completely defenseless for this long. In fact, we could probably buy some alloys. That gets us closer, although that's completely diminished our trade. But we are at least gaining trade at a decent rate. Well, I say decent rate, 3 per month. But that is a... that is a fairly... for the position we started in, that's pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, we're just gonna keep on keeping on. Sorry, I'm like checking the time to make sure, because as much as I said in the first episode, I will try and keep things to like once every 15, 25 years. I realized that like that episode had been going on for like a half hour and it hadn't even been like 10 years yet. So, we'll have to see kind of just how long each episode goes for. Maybe I'll start editing out the larger chunks of sort of dead air, so to speak. But I do kind of like how, you know, we kind of have, you know, the natural flow of a game, just sort of, you know, I let you guys see everything rather than just kind of a curated of the most interesting events. Yeah, because who knows, maybe there's some stuff that I miss or I don't quite pay much attention to that you guys notice, and you point it out to me in the comments, you know, or something, and then, you know, I can go back and maybe see about doing something about it. I know I pre-record a lot of these episodes, but that's mainly just because I'm trying to get into the practice of that, so that way, say, when I finally do have, like, an actual full-time job somewhere, I just record on the weekends, and I can just do an episode a week, or an episode a day, Monday through Friday, just, you know, without having to, like, stay up super late or be up super early to upload them. But we'll see.
Construction complete.
Oh. We have finished this archaeological dig, and apparently the data crystal records reveal that the Grunner waged war against the Baul, desiring the plentiful resources purportedly found on their planets. A set of system coordinates has been successfully extracted from one such record. Our archaeologists are uploading the planet's location to our systems now. Alright, so let's see what we find.
Situation log updated.
And we required a specimen, a Grunner data crystal. Alright. So, apparently, formal Bro colony investigation research. Okay. So, we're actually going to have to go there, then research projects in the system. You're just going to have to, like, survey that system, skip over that one, survey that system. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to have... You're currently claiming that black hole. I'll send you over to here next. Right.
Construction
And the soundtrack is getting quite funky. Oh, and because we found a specimen, the game is going, hey, would you like to build a space museum? Yeah, there's a lot going on in this game. Mind you, I have all the DLC. If you were to just buy the base game, a lot of this wouldn't be happening. But, our scientists believe our latest acquisition of the Gruner data crystal would prove worthy of putting on public display in the context of a grand archive. And you know what? Sure, I will pay 1,000 energy to get a kickstart on the galactic archivism technologies. You know what? Sure.
Situation
Let's do that. The next time we finish our society research. We've also discovered rare crystals in the Senac system here. Interesting. I mean, we can't really do anything with them yet, but it's worth looking into. We're gonna need like all of these rare crystals, the exotic gases. There's another one that's like volatile motes. We need all those eventually, but for now, just having ones that we can easily access within our borders is a nice thing to have. Apparently, we have continued making contact with something. Ah, yes, the Tanaki space whales. The diviners name the beings floating through the dark, the Tianki. They are a sacred and peaceful spaceborne life form that roams from system to system, feeding on gases common to the upper layers of many gas giants, and rarely show any signs of hostility. Let us keep a respectful distance.
An alien empire
I believe if we're a
speaks to
mega
us in the
corporation, we can,
language of
like,
the divine.
basically start trying to, like, effectively industrial whaling. We could just be like, yeah, nah, we're just gonna chop them up and eat them.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
But we're not gonna do that. Apparently, we've researched new technologies, and we can get more resource output from our mining station. So that's the ones we put in space. Materials workshop to get more engineering research, or powered exoskeletons to make our workers a bit better and our armies do more damage, but that unlocks the robotic path of technologies, which is tempting. I'm going to take more resources because I think that would help in the long run. And we have discovered another archaeological dig site, which is, of course, the... No, not that one. What the hell? There's multiple archaeological dig sites in the system. Okay. Interesting. We found a beautiful bubble, though. Surface scans of Taramda 2 picked up signs that a technological civilization may have been active on the planet, but has since gone extinct. We will need to mount a surface expedition to learn more. Alright, well, that's not quite what we're looking for, but hey, good to know. Sorry, I'm just kind of vibing with the soundtrack right now.
Construction complete.
Alright. Found a terraforming candidate. Nice.
System survey complete.
And we are just very slowly working on getting our empire expanded. We haven't found any more planets we can easily inhabit. I mean, these ones are potentially habitable, but they all have, like, 20%, 20%, 20%. Tomb World has 0%, meaning I believe if we were to actually put people on that planet, they would just start dying. Mind you, that is also the, the planet that was nuked, so makes sense. We'll have, our ways of dealing with that later, though.
Construction
we can
complete.
Unlock terraforming technology, for one.
System survey complete.
Excellent. So we're just gonna grab this system real quick. While you're there working on the dig site, or specifically the research project to unearth the dig site, yeah, we can, yep, formidable colony has been located. Despite the promise of riches suggested, the ancient Gruner data crystals recovered from Helios, Taramda 4A is a dry, barren world void of atmosphere. Fortunately, geological scans have revealed a near endless trove of fossilized remains deep in the planet's sedimentary record. Among them is a plantoid species likely to have been the Baul, as it is the only one identified in possession of the neurological structures required for sapience. A targeted excavation should uncover more information. So basically, we've kind of we found fossils of these people. We're I believe as the first excavation site said, we're like 7 million years late to this party. But who knows what we might find. Well, I know what we might find, but that's neither here nor there.
Construction complete.
I think I may have
Construction complete.
people like go and start doing archaeological dig sites. Actually, you know what? No, because you're still doing the nope, science ship. I need you to go to no excavate site. Thank you. All right. I should probably build some. Oh, hey, actually, we have enough. Yeah, we can build our fleets up. So now we're just going to... this is a fleet manager. You can basically use it to queue up large numbers of ships and then have just all of your shipyards work on them at once. I'm kind of surprised how much nothing is happening right now. I was going to say I might edit until like the next, big thing pops up, but then again, I have no idea when that might be. It may be, as soon as I stop saying something.
Survey complete.
But,
Construction complete.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't really run into anyone yet, because, this is a large galaxy with quite a few people in it. I was sort of expecting there to be a lot more, like activity. So far, we found some horrible space worms and some whales.
Council agenda ready.
Also in space. But, Oh, here we go. Prospecting Insight. Our prospectors proved themselves useful once again. They reported finding a hidden underground deposit of several unusual resources. While we work to ascertain the properties and potential for these new assets, we can continue to expand in other areas. Oh, lovely. Apparently we just got a bunch of random, things. Leadership conditioning, what else? Reorganizing the council, strong on our own. Yeah, we are strong on our own. I mean, there's no one else to really rely on in space. Not right now, at least. There will be eventually, I assume. Since this is going to be the second part of this new phase that comes up, and yesterday would have been when the Empire Creation video went up.
The spirits have granted
how
us new
do you
wisdom.
guys think we did in regards to how
complete.
we sort of transitioned our species over in terms of going from Spore to Stellaris. Hey, look, I said the name. Anyways, now that I've been rescued by this event that says that we actually have things to discuss now, we have the Baron, military mass extinction, thick layers of ash, and notable mass extinction. Thick layers of ash and a notable mass extinction event in the geological record coincide with material previously extracted from Gruner data crystals, suggesting the Gruner firebombed the Taramda 4A in a Gelling incendiary with a gelling. Yeah, I'm going to say gelling. They napalmed the planet, basically, 7 million years ago. Widespread deforestation of the planet's surface disrupted local ecosystems, and the lack of oxygen fixing vegetation gradually depleted the planet's atmosphere over the next 60,000 years. So, obviously, the Gruner really did not like the Baul for some reason. They really wanted that loot. You know what? Looking at things, I'm not sure how long this video's been going on for, but we're kind of hitting a lot of dead air, so I think it may be a good time to just kind of stop rather than try to prolong how this is going. And I will catch you all tomorrow in the next episode. I hope you are all having a good time, or with the series. Hopefully, the sort of slower, less involved gameplay has kind of not put too many people off. But I promise, once things pick up, it's gonna pick up a lot. It's gonna pick up very quickly once it does pick up. But we will have to see when that happens. Until then, I hope you all have a good time, and I will see you all in the next episode. Take care.